RA 4670, also known as Magna Carta for Public School Teachers, is a law in the Philippines that outlines the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of teachers in public school. So it aims to uplift the teaching profession by ensuring fair compensation, benefits, and working conditions for educators. And I will be the one to discuss Section 10 to 17. So let's begin. Section 10, No Discrimination. There shall be no discrimination whatsoever in entrance to the teaching profession or during its exercise or in the termination of services, based on other than professional consideration. So, in the teaching profession, everyone should have a fair chance to become a teacher and be treated fairly while doing their job. No one should be treated badly or lose their job for reasons that have nothing to do with how well they teach. This means treating everyone the same, no matter how their race, gender, religion, sexual orientation, age, disability, or any other personal thing that doesn't affect how good of a teacher they are. It's very important that everyone gets the same chances and fair treatment while they're teaching. Section 11, Married Couples. Whenever possible, the proper authorities shall take all steps to enable married couples, both of whom are public school teachers, to be employed in the same locality. So, this policy aims to help married couples who are both teachers in public schools by trying to ensure they can work near each other. This way, they can avoid problems that might come up if they're employed far apart. It's meant to support these couples by making it easier for them to balance their work and personal lives. Section 12, Academic Freedom. Teachers shall enjoy academic freedom in the discharge of their professional duties, particularly with regard to the teaching and classroom methods. So, teachers have the freedom to use their experience and knowledge to decide how they teach. They can pick the best ways to help students learn, like choosing what they teach and how they teach it. This freedom lets them be creative and share their own ideas as long as it helps students meet the goals set for their education. Hours of Work and Remuneration, Section 13, Teaching Hours. Any teacher engaged in actual classroom instruction shall not be required to render more than 6 hours of actual classroom teaching a day, which shall be scheduled as to give him time for the preparation and correction of exercise and other work incidental to his normal teaching duties. So, teachers usually teach for about 6 hours a day, giving them to prepare lessons and grade students' work. If the school really needs it or them, they might have to teach for up to 8 hours, but they should get extra pay at least 25% more than their usual salary for those extra hours. This rule is meant to make sure teachers have a fair workload and are compensated fairly if they have to teach beyond the regular 6-hour limit. Section 14, Additional Compensation. Notwithstanding any provision of existing law to the contrary, co-curricular and out-of-school activities and any other activities outside of what is defined as normal duties of any teacher shall be paid an additional compensation of at least 25% of his regular remuneration after the teacher has completed at least 6 hours of actual classroom teaching a day. So, this is about making sure teachers get extra pay for doing things beyond their usual teaching task. If a teacher spends more than 6 hours a day teaching in the classroom or helping with other school, such as co curricular activities, they should get 25% more money on top of what they usually earn. And for other school staff who don't teach directly, if they work more than 8 hours a day, they should also get an extra 25% of their regular pay. The people or groups that hire these teachers and staff members are responsible for paying this extra money. Also, it's mentioned that teachers shouldn't work for other parts of the government unless they are guaranteed to get this extra pay as specified in the rules. This is to make sure teachers are treated fairly and paid properly for their extra work. Section 15. Criteria for salaries. Teachers' salary shall correspond to the following criteria. A. They shall compare favorably with those paid in other occupations requiring equivalent or similar qualifications, training, and abilities. B. They shall be such as to ensure teachers a reasonable standard of life for themselves and their families, and they shall be properly graded so as to recognize the fact that certain positions require higher qualifications and greater responsibility than others provided. However, that the general salary scale be such that the relation between the lowest and highest salaries paid in profession will be of reasonable order. Narrowing of the salary scale shall be achieved by raising the lower end of the salary scales relative to the upper end. So this section outlines how teachers' salary should be determined based on specific criteria. A. Teachers' salaries should be comparable to those in other jobs that require similar qualifications, training, and skills. This ensures that teachers are fairly compensated compared to other professions with similar requirements. B. Salaries should be enough for teachers to have a decent standard of living for themselves and their families. This means their pay should cover their basic needs and provide a reasonable quality of life. Section 16. Salary Scale. Salary scale of teachers shall provide for a gradual progression from a minimum to a maximum salary by means of regular increments granted automatically after 3 years, provided that the efficiency rating of the teacher concerned is at least satisfactory. The progression from the minimum to the maximum of the salary scale shall not extend over a period of 10 years. So this section talks about how teachers' salaries should increase over time. Salary progression. Teachers' pay shouldn't slowly increase from the lowest salary to the highest salary on a scale. This increase happens regularly every 3 years. Conditions for increase. For these regular pay raises, teachers need to have at least satisfactory performance rating. Time limit. The time it takes for a teacher to go from the starting pay to the highest pay shouldn't be more than 10 years. This means that within 10 years, a teacher should reach the highest salary outlined in the scale if they have satisfactory performance ratings. Section 17. Equality in salary scales. The salary scales of teachers whose salaries are appropriated by a city, municipal district, or provincial government shall not be less than those provided for teachers of the national government. So this section ensures that teachers whose salaries are funded by a city, municipal district, or provincial government should not be paid less than what the national government provides for its teachers. Essentially, it aims to maintain equal or higher salary scales for these local government funded teachers compared to those funded by the national government. These help ensuring fair compensation across different levels of government for teachers' work of dedication.